What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another college basketball video. It is Tuesday, December 9th. We've got some more college basketball action to dive into here today. We're going to be breaking down my favorite play off of this Tuesday slate, but before we dive into that, we're going to jump over there to the Guy Boston Sports website, and after each of these videos, that's where I put any of the final plays that I put in myself. We lay them out over there for free, so make sure you check that out, man. You'll find a link right down there in that pinned comment that'll send you over that way. So let's go ahead and jump over there. Let's recap our play from Sunday. Let's see what we put in then and how that ended up going down. And on Sunday, we put one play in. We were with Kansas laying those 4.5 points. Put a full unit in on that one, minus 108 odds, and we do end up cashing out. So we go 1-0 on the day. And here in the early goings of the college basketball season, we're a little more than a month into it, man. We are 30-25 overall with our win-loss record, sitting at 2.61 units that we have profited on the season so far. So let's look to build on that, man. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a good night here tonight. Let's jump right into the mix, man. Smash that like button down there for me, guys, if you can. Hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's go ahead and take a jump over there to Outlier to check this game out. I'm going to be looking at the Clemson Tigers taking on the BYU Cougars. Cougars coming into this one ranked 10th. They're sitting at 7-1 on the season so far. Clemson sitting at 7-2. We can look at these two over the course of the season so far. Clemson coming in off of that loss to Alabama their last time out, 90-84. That's one thing that's sticking out to me in particular right here, looking at Clemson, right? They're known for their defense, but they're coming up against this potent BYU offense now. They've given up 84 points to Alabama here, 94 to Georgia just 2 games prior to that. If we scroll over here and look at this matchup, right, let's look at that BYU offense, man, going up against that Clemson defense. Now, like I said, the Tigers they're a decent team defensively, right, sitting at 40th for effective field goal percentage, but we can see the Cougars coming in at 43rd, 56.8 for effective field goal percentage. And that turnover percentage for BYU sitting at 19th, just 274th for Clemson. We look at the points allowed for Clemson, just 66, right? Just 66.7. That's good for 55th in the nation. BYU coming in at 85 points per game. That's 64th in the nation. They're shooting at just under 50% from the field, shooting at 37% from downtown. Now, also, look, Clemson's numbers are nice over here, right? But we do need to take into consideration who they have played coming into this one as compared to BYU. Now let's jump over to the Ken Palm rankings real quick. Let's look at both of these squads real quick, man. BYU, right? All right, coming in at 5th for offensive rating, 19th for defensive rating. But look at that strength of schedule net rating as well for BYU, sitting at 16th. For that defensive rating, strength of schedule sitting at 16th. Come on down and look at Clemson, 25th overall, 23rd offensively, 46th defensively. But that strength of schedule nowhere near close that of BYU's, right? The net rating sitting at 260th, the offenses that they have faced sitting at 264. So then we jump back over, and like I said, all right, so now that defensive rankings here doesn't look as good compared to BYU and that elite offense that they're bringing to the table here. If we look at this Clemson team, they're a very balanced squad, right? Your leading scorer, RJ Godfrey, averaging just 12 points per game. You got Carter Welling in there at 10 points per game. Porter coming in at 10 points per game as well. You look over here, though, they run a 10-man rotation, so they're pretty fresh throughout the entirety of the game. You got nobody coming in over 25 minutes per game. Dylan Hunter, the only one checking in at 25 minutes per game even. But like I said, a 10-man rotation there. Then you flip over to BYU. And you can see while they are top heavy, I mean, these are talents, man. AJ DeBonza going to be a top pick in the NBA draft. You got Robert Wright III, a transfer coming from Baylor. He just handed out 11 assists in their last game as well to go along with those 17 points per game that he's averaging. 19 points per game from Richie Saunders as well because he is still there with them also. So the Tigers have the depth, man, but I think the Cougars have the overall talent, man, to withstand that, and I like them on the spread. But end of the day, I like the over here the most. I like looking at that at over 150.5. We can still get that for a good price, minus 113 at Bet Rivers. But that price is going up, man. It was sitting at minus 150.5 for a good bit today, and we can see that we are starting to move on up right into the 151.5s, and we got 152.5s available as well. So if we like that over, we need to jump on that quickly before it gets out of control. But with BYU on the court, man, I know, like I said, Clemson's defense isn't shabby at all. But we can see, man, they've hit 4 straight overs coming into this one. They've gone up and over this 150.5 line in 2 of their last 3 games, while BYU has hit over this mark here, 6 of their last 7 games. So I think end of the day, I like the over the most in this one, over 150.5 right now, minus 113 over there at Bet Rivers. That's going to wrap it up for today's show, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. Hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. And that is going to do it, man. Hope you guys all cash out and have yourselves a great night. And I'll see you back tomorrow for the next one.